Well, hello folks, this is our organ behind me. I've taken out 3 of the big pipes which play the lowest notes so that we can have a look inside. We thought this organ was made in 1927 by a company called Peter Conacher in Huddersfield. We thought that was the date of it, but it's clear now, having looked more clearly inside it, that there are older things for us to see. So let me just show you this tiny little pipe which I can take out here and give it a little blow. You can see by the mottling on the pipes that this is in fact an original 1927 pipe. So this is one of the pipes that Peter Conacher put in. Behind that little row of pipes there are some wooden ones. You can see they're made of beautiful old wood. And those pipes go back much further back than 1927, probably as far back as the early 1800s. This side of the organ is called the great organ. This is what makes the loudest music. And these pipes here on some organs are pretend. They're just there as to look good at the front, but in fact these are original pipes that I use now. And let's try putting one back. So this goes up here in that great big hole there, and you push it up, up it goes, and it fits into that little hole at the bottom that provides us with the sound and the wind, so it will work. And then another one here which goes in up there. Up we go, and into that hole, and then this one goes up and into that hole. So there we are, our organ back together again, so it looks good. Okay, so this is me sitting at the organ each time I play it, and on this side here are all the stops that I can pull out, which every one is a different sound available to me. And on this side is what's called the swell organ, and that's the other side of the organ. And again, all that's available for me to play. The problem at the moment is, and I'll just switch it on so you can hear, is that there's a leak. No, there's not a leak. There's a lot of leaks all over the organ, and you can hear them. Now at the moment that should be silent, and all you can hear now is leaks all over the place. So I can play you a little tune. I can play you some of the sounds on this side here and give you some idea of how that sounds. And that can sound brighter. And even louder. On the other side of the organ, we've got a lot of the sounds that are more, if you like, special to this organ. So this side I'm pointing to over here is the swell side to the organ, and it contains some of the most unusual sounds, I think, particularly to this organ, and clearly something that's much older than 1927. So if I play you this little stop, which is the stop diapason, which is a very beautiful flute sound, we're pretty sure that those sounds come from the early 1800s. And again, this really lovely reedy oboe sound that would have sounded very much like the wind would have sounded in a West Gallery choir when wind instruments were played instead of an organ. That's very much like that sound. On top of that, you've got a lovely, lovely sound here, but this is from 1927, which is a trumpet sound. When Peter Connicher rebuilt the instrument in 1927, until we found the paperwork, we didn't know that in fact these old pipes existed. But we think now that at least 2/3 of the instrument goes back to probably as early as 1820. We know that the organ was tuned in 1820, so that implies there was something here to do. It must have been that the early instrument was there at least in 1820, probably a little earlier than that. And it may just be, and there's no evidence as yet to find out, that the organ was here at the end of the 18th century, that is the late 1700s, before we move into the new century, which is very exciting news because it ties it in with the history of the building which was built in 1733. Okay folks, the problem is that because there's so many leaks in the organ, the air supply is severely depleted the moment you start playing anything that's really loud. So if I play you a version of the national anthem, that's fine, particularly if you listen to the first three notes. That's great. Now if I play that with just a little bit more going on, so some harmony in the footwork underneath, you can suddenly hear, as I take my finger off, that note's not playing, and that's simply because there's not enough air supplying the system inside the organ. Oh, and there we go. It's decided to play a good minute after it was told to do it. To go back to the sort of thing that I do day in, day out here, you can play a tune on up here. Now let's imagine that I'm playing the same national anthem for some reason or other, and then I want to make it louder. What I've got to do is let go and pull out another stop. When the organ was built, they provided me or any organist with the opportunity of using what's called a preset button. These preset buttons, there are 3 for my feet on the left hand side that operate the swell side, and 3 over this side that operate the great side. That makes life very much easier for me, or it would do if they worked. The only one that works, which shows you that it's how it works, is this one where my foot is now. And if the cameraman can just, when I press that button, it opens up the stops just there. And that's very helpful, because that means, and let's try that with some music going on. Here's something going on just with that. And if I then press that foot button, as if by magic, it's got much louder. But as I say, at the moment, only one of those is working because the pneumatic system is failing all over the place. So let's just show you some of the frustrations we have. The organ is going to play some of the lowest notes available down on the pedals, which will allow you to see both me playing the woodwork down there, which must be getting on for 100 years old, and some of the mechanical things behind connecting the pneumatics to the pedals. So you'll know this tune, and I'll play it so you recognise it at the beginning, and then I'll do a slight change so you can see that the instrument isn't doing its best job at the moment. So here's a tune you'll recognise. And then I'm going to change something. So particularly you'll notice that that note there, which is a C, is making the strangest of noises and really isn't working at all, and that's simply to do with the connections of the pneumatics. So I'm going to play a piece of music by the composer Pachelbel, which he's well known for the canon that he wrote. I'll play you another little piece that would have been contemporary with the building of the Grade 1 listed building as it stands, that was built here in 1730s. And probably, although I don't know, the first organist that came into the church would have played this sort of music on this organ. Now what I've managed to do is realise a setup that allows the organ to play without going wrong. So what you'll hear is an old set of 1800s pipes being played in a way which sounds as if the organ's working okay. So I'll just pull out two of the stops which are contemporary with the 1820s.